In this video, I will introduce the use of concepts in the Annotator for Clinical Data Configuration Editor. I've already created an empty cartridge called Social Indicators, as that I will be using in this demo. For this use case, I'd like to identify social information around the patient, such as whether they are taking any drugs and what their housing status is. I'll edit this cartridge by clicking the Edit button, which takes me to the artifact catalog. I'll start by creating a dictionary and calling it drugs, as that is the information I would like to extract. I can add a description, as well as tags. Tags allow me to identify the artifact by keywords, which make it easier for me or others to search for artifacts that are in the domain they're interested in. So I'll add the tags social health and drugs. I'll leave the rest of the information as is, and take special notice that this is a concept dictionary type, and then I will hit the Create button. You can see that dictionary is now shown under my cartridge artifacts, as well as in the main artifact catalog. To edit it, I can click on the dictionary either within the main artifact catalog or underneath the cartridge artifacts. Now you can see that it's showing me the information that's in the dictionary, which currently is empty as we just created it. To add a new concept, I can click on the plus button next to the concept ID header. I'm going to start by adding a concept for heroin. The preferred name will be heroin, as that is the main term that I'd like to identify by, and I'm going to call it a type of illegal drugs, as that's the category that it will have within my dictionary. Now, heroin is, of course, known by the term heroin, but on the street, it is also known by China white and dope. So I'll be adding those also in its surface form box. You also have the option to add surface form expressions, which are Java regular expressions that define the concept. A situation where this might be useful is if you are looking for a date, which has a typical structure, but not the same numbers or words every time. However, I don't need expressions for this concept, so I'll create it as is. And you can see that that concept, along with all its information, is now shown in the dictionary. I'll save that dictionary, go to Preview to see how it performs in ACD. I can fill in some unstructured text in the main screen that has a patient which uses some drugs and also is homeless. I can then click on the play button in the top left to run this text through the Annotator for Clinical Data using my cartridge and the artifacts in it as the configuration. You can see now the information coming back from ACD. There is an underline under China white, as well as the information is summarized in the right pane. So you can see that we have one concept coming back, which has the type illegal drugs. The color next to that concept is then matches with the color of the underlines underneath the concepts. So you can see that China white is underlined in the same yellow that is next to the illegal drug type. Hovering over the text that is underlined then shows us all of the information about whatever entities are returned over that text. In this case, just the one concept covering China white with the preferred name of heroin and coming from the drugs dictionary. The Annotator for Clinical Data Configuration Editor also gives us the ability to edit aspects of your cognitive model right in Preview. So looking at this text, I know that the text lives on the street is an indicator of homelessness, which I would like to have a concept around. I can highlight that interesting text and then right-click on it, which is going to give me options for upending my cognitive model. You can see we have an option for concepts, and hovering over that then gives us two more options to create a new concept using lives on the street, or to add lives on the street to an existing concept. I'd like to create a new concept, and hovering over that again gives us some more options to either create the new concept in our existing drugs dictionary or to create a new dictionary. Since homelessness doesn't really match with the concepts of drugs, I'm going to create a new dictionary, which is going to be around housing status. Again, I'm going to fill in the necessary information like the dictionary name and description, and I am going to then create that dictionary. That dictionary is now created. You can see in the background that there is a new dictionary called Housing Status underneath my cartridge artifacts, but a new modal pops up to allow us to create that new concept. Again, it automatically selects housing status as the dictionary because that is what we selected. But if we really want to change that, we can switch it to the other dictionary in our cartridge. I'll leave that as housing status. The preferred name I'm going to give as homeless, and it's going to be of type homelessness. You can see it auto-fills in the text that I highlighted before for lives on the street. And to add, so I am going to create. It gives us a successful message, giving us a little bit of the information on what we created, and automatically runs the text through ACD again with our cartridge. Now that our cartridge has that new dictionary in it with that concept, you can see lives on the street is now underlined as well. The purple underline indicates that homelessness, our concept type over here, is matches. And then hovering over it shows us all of that information for the concept we just created. Another option Preview gives us is to add text to an existing concept. So homeless, I know that that text should be under that concept that I just created. So again, I will highlight homeless, right-click, select concepts, select add homeless to an existing concept, and I will select that it is in the housing status dictionary. You can see it auto-selects that dictionary with the surface form of homeless. We then have a box at the bottom allowing us to search for concepts that are in that dictionary that we want to add this to. So I'm going to start typing home. And you can see that a box pops up, which is pre-showing me the concepts in that dictionary that match the text that I am entering. I can then select the concept that I want to add the surface form to, click add. We get the successful message, and you can see homeless is now underlined. You can see we now have two concepts with the purple underline indicating they are of type homelessness, and one concept that is underlined in yellow indicating it is of type illegal drugs. One nice tip that we have is if you are interested in seeing the concepts that are only of a specific type, you can click on that type under the concepts header in the right pane. So clicking on the illegal drugs type will then only underline the concepts of that type. So you can see China White is still underlined in that yellow, but lives on the street and homeless are no longer underlined in purple. This allows you, if you have a lot of underlines, to really easily navigate to the concepts that you're interested in. You can then show all of those underlines again by clicking the Show All button on that right pane. A dictionary from scratch or building in an existing dictionary in the Annotator for Clinical Data Configuration Editor is one option, but we also provide a way to import dictionaries. I will go back to the Artifacts page by clicking the Artifacts tab in the top left, and now under the Create option, you can see that there is an option to import a dictionary. Again, the modal looks very similar to the Create dictionary, but you can see there's a new option at the bottom that's asking you where you want to import from. You can import either from a CSV file or from a binary dictionary file. Clicking on the question mark next to the import from type shows you the information for what is required in each format. This can be very useful if you obtained a dictionary from another source, or if you have chosen to hand build your knowledge in a spreadsheet and later want to add it to the ACD configuration editor.